What's going on, everybody? Just be your boy
DJ Anonymous.
DJ Anonymous with another episode of Sports Biz Music, the podcast, and I have a very, very special guest on the show tonight. I have my girl Aliyah Navarro. How you doing today or tonight?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. I know you have a crazy schedule, and I thank you for taking your time to come on the podcast. Before we get into the questions, introduce yourself to the listeners.
Oh, yes. So my name is Aliyah Navarro. I have had a passion for sports ever since a very young age. And I would say also a passion for content creation. And throughout just ambition and just my own goals in life, I've been able to accomplish some of my dream opportunities, I would say. And right now I'm currently working at the NFL as a digital programming coordinator.
Okay. Before we get into that, like what I guess what was the love, what did the love for sports start? Like how old were you like when it all started?
I would say as old as 5 years old.
Okay.
I was raised by a single mother, and my grandmother would babysit me. But the only thing she would watch on television was the Laker games, the Dodger games, and her telenovelas.
Okay. So you from LA?
I'm from Southern California.
Okay.
So I'm originally from Ventura County area.
So how? Because I had a few people on the show that was from LA, and I've been to LA one time, and it's very big. So like, how I guess so that's not really, I guess, like LA County, I guess, is like where is it exactly?
I would say it's about an hour away from LA.
Okay.
So I'm kind of in the middle. I could go to LA or 45 minutes from Santa Barbara.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit northern, like.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because when I went out to LA, it was very huge. Like someone told me that was like LA to get from one part to another is like 2 hours. And when I went out there, I'm like, because I'm from Miami, so Miami, is spread out as well. But LA is it's a whole nother monster. It's like the whole city itself is just spread out. It's very different from anywhere else.
Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, definitely. I agree.
So you said that's you said your grandmother, you said your grandmother watched the Lakers and the Dodgers, right?
Yes.
So like
I grew up watching Kobe and Shaq era,
okay.
And then the era of Eric Gagne for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And you have your Sean Green and Andre Ethier, and just watching those, it created everlasting memories for me and my family. And I just enjoyed it, and I wanted to pick up baseball as a hobby and basketball as a hobby, so then I would do that in my free time.
Okay, yeah, because out there in California, y'all well known for baseball, like of course football too as well, but baseball is real good up there, especially basketball. A lot of basketball players come out of Cali, especially in this era. Especially in this era. So pretty much you was a Dodgers and Lakers fan. So did you watch football any chance, like before the Rams and the Chargers, went back to LA?
I did. Actually, my family was a fan of the Manning brothers.
Okay.
So Peyton Manning, Eli Manning. So I grew up watching the Giants and the Broncos, and just, we always supported the Manning brothers for sure, and the LA Rams, I would say as well.
Okay.
But I also have family that are Cowboys fans, so it's a mixture of everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that when I went to LA. It's a lot of Dolphin fans out there too. I was surprised.
Yeah.
Cause I was telling my friends that it's a lot of Dolphin fans like everywhere. And sometimes I tend to forget that the Dolphins was one of the first few teams when the merger came. I think it was established in '66, so they considered like one of the older teams. So when I went out there, I was like, I tend to forget sometimes that, even though LA had the Raiders and the Rams at one point before, they moved and they came, well, the Rams moved and came back, it was a time where it was kind of, y'all ain't have no football team other than USC, UCLA, like that was like y'all professional football team, especially. We could talk about the USC from 03 to 05. Like that was me as a Hurricane fan. Like I always respected like USC football just because just seeing that all that talent. I mean Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, Carson Palmer when he was on the I think it was 03. Lindell White. Like it that whole team was just ridiculous. But
oh yes, that was amazing.
And like how, but matter of fact, how was that? Like how was that? Like being in the Southern Cal area, like how was that at the time to live through that?
It was amazing. I would say that I went to about 2 or 3 Laker games with my mother, and then we of course were fans of USC football. And I always thought like it would be a dream to go to USC. I never thought in the future I would actually be a graduate from there.
Okay.
And also with just, watching the NFL or watching Major League Baseball, it was always just having pure passion for it and enjoying it and just creating moments with my grandmother I will never forget and my mother, and just something today that we still, have a common interest in, and we can look back at those memories.
Yeah, 'cause it's a lot of history. And speaking, you also said you watched the Dodgers as well. The Dodgers, me being a Marlins fan, growing up, it was hard because you know the Marlins, they get good. We always get good players, then they want to trade everybody, blow everything up. But when the games wasn't televised, when they never showed them like on Fox on Saturdays afternoons, we'll either get the Yankees and the Red Sox games, or the Dodgers, or who else they should show a lot? The Dodgers, the Mets, the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Cardinals. So other than the Marlins, growing up, I always looked at the Dodgers and the Cardinals. And I want to ask you this, like, from the Dodgers recently winning the World Series after all these times where y'all always had great teams, like the last 5 to 10 years, and finally go over the hump. How was that? Like, how was that moment as well when y'all won the World Series?
That was a very special moment. And for being raised a Dodger fan and just my family as Dodger fans, and then now recently I started photographing Dodger games. I'll be photographing the Nets one this upcoming Sunday with the Giants, and just them, winning the World Series was just, an incredible thing for all of LA, for all the fans, from past to present, everybody. It was just an incredible moment, and it was an emotional moment, I would say as well. It was a lot to take in, but it was something that was very special, and that team is very unique, especially with the players they have today, from going to Will Smith to your Austin Barnes to your all-time great legend Clayton Kershaw. There's so many incredible players on that team, so hopefully they could get another one that's not, during the time of a pandemic, and hopefully one day, Dodger fans can experience an LA parade for the Dodgers one day. So I think that will come true sooner or later.
I mean, it could happen this year. Y'all have a great team. Just looking at the whole, just the whole like season so far. Of course, the Yankees, whatever. I don't like the Yankees, but they are doing real good. The Astros, of course, the Dodgers. I mean, to me this year is gonna be a very interesting year. Just because of how it's a lot of teams that's like, that's real good. Like, y'all still in y'all division alone, it's the Dodgers, you got the Padres. Who else in that division? I know the Diamondbacks and the Rockies, right? I think.
Yes. I would say, too, there's a lot of great major league players. That's something that I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of, like, the complete game from, Mariano Rivera days to, the legends, and Hall of Famers, those are all athletes from many teams. I would say I have, certain ones I keep an eye on, but also I'm just a fan of the game overall as well.
Oh, so you really is like a baseball fan?
Yes.
So real quick, because usually I do this at the end of the show, but I want to know who's your top 5 players of all time, like baseball wise.
Oh, that's a hard one. Sandy Koufax is up there. Mariano Rivera.
Of course. The greatest closer
Oral
ever.
Hershiser. Another great Dodger. There's a lot. Top 5 is hard. You have your Derek Jeter, the captain. Can't forget about him.
El Capitan.
Yeah. And Ken Griffey Jr. There's so many. But yeah, I would have to say like Sandy Koufax is like one of the tops for me.
Okay.
Sandy Koufax. Yeah.
You said Mariano Rivera. That's 2. You got 3 more. I know it's a lot.
And then I'm just remembering Tommy Lasorda. Tommy Lasorda. There's so many though.
It's a lot.
Yeah, that's a hard question.
You got Albert Pujols, you got Miguel Cabrera, you got Barry Bonds.
Oh, Midgie. You got to put Midgie in there. Yep. Miguel Cabrera,
Till this day, I'm still mad at the Marlins for letting him go. Because we could have kept him.
Empe Papi, David Ortiz.
Of course. Going to the Hall of Fame this year. What was it? This weekend, I think. Got Pudge. It's a lot. Baseball.
Yeah, and then, right now, too, you have, your current, leader, Mike Trout. You have Shohei Ohtani.
Oh,
there's a lot of great ones to watch, Shohei does it better in a pitcher, hitter in a pitcher, so there's a lot there.
So I'm glad we talking about this. So, all right, first thing first. All right, so LA, like the Angels, Anaheim, that they not in LA, right? They like what, in another county, right?
They're in Anaheim, so they're about I would say from LA, that's about maybe 45 to an hour. Don't quote me on that, but it's in Anaheim though. So from where I live, it's about like a 2-hour drive.
Oh,
but from LA, it's shorter from LA.
Okay, so like how? Because growing up, as I grew up, I love sports. I kind of had like your background, like my grandma. She was a big sports fan. My granddad. Like I remember the Subway series. I remember the White Sox and the Cubs rivalry. I know about the Rangers and Houston. I know about, you know, even the Marlins and the well, at the time Devil Rays, but it's the Rays now. Like, how is the Dodgers? Because I know about the Dodgers and the Giants rivalry. That's one of the greatest rivalries in all the sports.
Yeah.
You know, but how is the Dodgers and Angels rivalry? Is it kind of hate, or is it just like, you know, it's just one of them cousins that, you know, y'all don't like, but at the same time y'all respect each other, I guess? Like, how is that?
I would say there's definitely respect, especially towards Trout and Ohtani. I think we saw that recently at the All-Star game, how Dodger fans, you know, showed their respect to Ohtani and Trout when they came up to, just whether it was in an interview or on the field. I would say that Dodger fans have respect. So I would say, speaking for myself, like, you know, I have respect for them. Just they're, you know, they're going to be Hall of Famers. They're legends. And it's great watching them. It's great watching, you know, even like the young players nowadays that are coming up, from Julio Rodriguez putting on a show in the Home Run Derby. Yeah, so it's exciting. It's exciting to watch, you know, the new uprising stars in baseball, but also the legends, and also just to take in the moments we see of them, because this is history happening.
Yeah, like you know, watching, you know, I could tell me and you around the same age, so like, you know, Ken Griffey is the best pure hitter, you know, in baseball history, but Ken Griffey was kind of he was like our I'm trying to, how can I don't want to say Jordan, but he was kind of like, I'm trying to think of, like, because of the era. Because when Ken Griffey came out, what, like in the early 90s, right?
I believe so.
So, yeah, he was technically kind of like our Jordan for baseball. But when we talk about this era, the best pure hitters I ever seen in my life, you know, just growing up, like, I seen them from their rookie year all the way to when they about to retire, is, you know, Albert Pujols and Miguel Cabrera of this, like, era, like, you know, because they still playing. But for me, like, I remember going to the every time when the Marlins used to play up in with Dolphin Stadium back in the day, and they used to play the Cardinals. You know, me and my best friend, we always go to them games because, you know, we was always gonna see a show between Albert Pujols and Miguel Cabrera. You know, so like, to me, like, of this, not like, I'm not speaking like current generation, like, you know, with Mike Trouts and I'm just talking about, like, as far as, like, you know how, like, LeBron is still playing, like, he's part of that generation when, like, 03 until now, like Carmelo Anthony's to Dwayne Wade's. But I'm talking about, like, from, like, the early 2000s to, like, all the way up to, like, to the mid 2010s or a little bit later, like Miguel Cabrera and Albert Pujols was different, you know, like, as far as hitters. And then, you know, of course, you talk about the Mike Trouts, the Ohtanis, then the younger ones like Acuna. Like, this is different. Even Marlins now, we got another one. We got my boy Jazz. Like, he's special. Like, you know, me, I have a Bahamian heritage. You know, my grandma was Bahamian, so for him to represent that culture, especially in baseball, like, it's, you know, it's different. And to play for the Marlins is different. So, I was telling my friends, I said, not even just in baseball, but basketball, football, every sport is like, every league, they're in great hands because of these athletes. Like, Like basketball, you talk about like the Ja Morants of the world. Talk about
Oh yes, 100%. Yeah.
who else? The Lucas, the Giannis's, the Joel Embiid's, the Joker. Like it's all the leagues, and they in great hands right now. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But so let's get back, to you and your career. So now you say you work for the NFL digital programming coordinator. What's like your day-to-day duties?
I would say sometimes they vary, but mostly it's overseeing the NFL website and the NFL app. All content that is posted on the homepage of the NFL website, the NFL app, monitoring the NFL network shows such as NFL Now, NFL Total Access, and then also working with whether it's the photographers, the video team, as well as the original content team to monitor which stories are coming out, which videos are getting published, and also which appropriate photos we want as video stills or as centerpieces on our website. So it's multiple tasks, I would say, but overall it's overseeing the website and the app, and also making sure that any breaking news that occurs is given out to fans, at the right timing, and also just making sure that all facts are represented as well.
Okay. So you was pretty much busy, especially like during the playoffs, the free agency, the draft. Like,
oh yeah.
So like was it nerve-wracking when you first got like how was it when you first got the opportunity to work for the NFL, because that's one of the biggest brands in all of life. So how was that feeling to be able to work for a great league?
I would say it was emotional, at the same time an overwhelming feeling. I had been trying to continue to try to get a job in the sports industry, and after going through about 95 applications I sent total, I finally getting a yes, but also getting a yes from a league such as the NFL was just an amazing feeling, and it also gave me that ambition to also see the opportunity presented to me and what I can do with it and what I want to do thus forward in my career, and take this as a learning experience. And also meeting the people here has been amazing. I would say they're family to me at this point. And they've taught me so much, and I've learned so much being here.
That's what's up, because I went to school for my bachelor's, my master's for sports management, sports administration. And when I was in my master's program, a lot of the professionals, in the sports industry, whether it's park and rec, whether it's working with the Dolphins, working, MLS, working for NASCAR, or just an athletic director at a college or whatever. Like anybody, like in any position in the industry, will always tell us that we should be able, like it's hard to be successful in the sports industry because it's very competitive. That's one.
Yeah.
And then two, everybody dream is to, get hired, but also not move too far away from where they grew up at. Because I remember Mr. Blake, he was the former AD for UM. He was a graduate from St. Thomas. That's where I got my master's from. And
oh wow.
he was telling us like his whole story about like how, before he, got his dream job at UM, because he was from here. He was from Miami. And he was saying that he had to move like from Maine to Rhode Island, and he had to go to the Midwest, like his journey, in the sports industry. And I tell people this all the time. It's very competitive and it's very hard. Like,
oh yeah, no, definitely. And I could say that, like, coming out of my university, and then I took a full-time job as a social media specialist.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, because I'm a single mother, but she's disabled with rheumatoid arthritis.
Oh, wow.
So for me, it's very important that I am still, like, locally, nearby my mother. And thank God I live with her to help her out,
right,
and help out my sister to take care of her. But family is something that's very important to me. And I could say that she saw my struggle of trying to get into the sports industry and trying to get a sports job. And sometimes it's, financial situations hit, and you have to, of course, providing for your family comes first. So for me, it was like taking that full-time job. I'll find my way to sports eventually, and I'll do what it takes as a side job or part-time job. But in the meantime, I need to first provide for my family, and also just support my own living in California, as it could be very expensive as well.
Heard about California. There's a lot of people from California moving down here, but I'm like, y'all raising our prices down here, like, cause Miami is everywhere though. Cause when I was looking at gas prices, I'm like, dang, it's almost $5 for gas in like Missouri and Alabama and stuff. I'm like, what's going on? But we'll just we're now, cause just like I tell, me and one of my friends was talking about this when the recession first hit in 2008. I was in high school, so I didn't even know what was a recession. Like I just thought everybody was broke, so or was going broke. But right now, when I'm learning, well, what I have learned, from the like it's real. Like I'm talking about like I'm talking about like Miami, like, because I tell people this all the time. Miami is a major city, but it's still in the South. So gas is not. It's even when life, when the economy is good, Miami gas is not. Because I heard stories like out there in California, y'all gas be about $4. Even when the economy is great, it's like in the high $3s, $4, sometimes $5s. Down here, only certain parts of Miami, like Miami Beach, South Beach, like the popular areas or anything by the airport, it get high. But other than that, when life was $2 and stuff, like low $3s, like life was good. Always going to outskirts anyway. But yeah, it's crazy right now. Like, everybody's just moving everywhere. And I remember I was reading somewhere where they said they was predicted this. They was predicting this moment where you was gonna have a lot of New Yorkers, because a lot of New Yorkers move down here a lot, but now they trying to move, like Georgia, Texas. I know a lot of Californians, y'all moving to Texas. Texas people moving to Florida. Florida people, they moving out too, to like up north and stuff, like the Maine and stuff. So it's like a mini what do you call that? It's like a mini change in terms of like migration, a mini migration. Like everybody just moving everywhere just to try to be comfortable. but it also goes back to, the career life, especially in sports, where
Very true.
if you're lucky enough to get a career near your home, that's a plus because everybody feeling it right now. So that's crazy.
Oh yeah, and thankful. Like I thank God every day. I've been, extremely blessed to be in the position I'm in, and just, to go through, and whether it's a struggle or whether it's, an accomplishment, everything that has led me to today, I wouldn't change one thing.
Right. That's a blessing. So real quick, like, I guess, like, where do you see yourself 5 to 10 years from now?
I would see myself still in the sports industry, but having moved already into a more content creation role. I've been a freelance photographer for going on 9 years.
Oh, wow.
And also I am a graphic designer. And I have experience in social media and marketing and PR. So I would love to move. I think in 10 years I would be doing something in content creation, but still contributing to the sports industry while helping others, especially women, but especially our youth, support them and try to get them into the sports industry.
And I'm glad you said that, because it was at one point at a time where you hardly even seen women, in sports like that, unless they, was like sideline reporters. And at the time, it was very rare to see even like anchors, sports anchors, ESPN and stuff like that. Now they everywhere. Like, y'all everywhere. Y'all growing. So how does that feel being a woman, especially a minority as well?
Oh yes, especially for being a Latina.
Yeah,
it's extremely special, and I want to inspire more Latinas, including like myself. Like I grew up in a low income family with a single mom. Like anybody can do anything, I believe, as long as you set your mind to it and you put in the hard work and you continue your passion, even if you have to take, like I said, something that you're not interested in, but still do something related to your passion on the side. Like you can get there. It's achievable. Like your goals can be accomplished. You just have to have the ambition. Don't give up on yourself. Don't let outside noise take control. Focus on you and your goals. And that's all that matters at the end of the day, because you make the lifestyle and the future for yourself.
And my daughter, she about to be 2 next week, and she may not understand me now, but I always try to instill that in her, because she's mixed. Like, her mom Dominican, of course I'm black, so when she grows up, she gonna have triple the like hardship. She's half African American, she half Latina, and she's a woman, so she's gonna have triple the challenge. And as she grows up, I don't want her to learn. I want to teach her that, hey, I don't care what nobody tell you and say you can't do this, you can't do that. You just do it. Especially if one day she follow her dad's footsteps and she's like, Dad, I wanna get into sports. Like, it don't matter what she wanna do, whether it's like being a social media content creator, or if she wanna be an agent, or she wanna have her own podcast in sports and stuff, or whatever she want to do. I want her to just do it and don't listen to the negative people. Just take that. The more people talk, the more you should take it in and just embrace it and just use that as motivation. So.
Oh yes, exactly. And I could say at my during my high school years.
Mm-hmm.
I did 3 years at a charter school, and then I went back to my old high school my senior year. And the first day I went back there, my counselor told me I wouldn't be able to get into a college or university just because I attended a charter school. And to me, I took that as, no, like, I believe in myself, like, I will get into college. And 2 years later, I first did all my general ed at community college up in Moore Park and Ventura College. And then I got into Cal Lutheran University, completed my bachelor's, and then 2 years later, completed my master's at USC.
Okay, that's what's up. Okay.
Yeah, so never let anyone's negativity or, criticism is good, but also don't let anybody negative affect you because you know your own path and you know your worth and you know what you're capable of.
Yep. And on that note, anyway, wait. But before we close it off, you have any like shout outs, any recognitions before we close out the podcast?
Oh yes, just my hero and someone I inspired, and I wouldn't be here today without with. I wouldn't be here today. My mother has given me so much for being a single mom for me and my sister. So without her, I wouldn't be able to accomplish everything I accomplished today. And also my mentors, such as Professor Jeff Fallenser at USC, and also just my current support system, friends and family who have guided me and helped me. I wouldn't be where I'm at today, and their continued support will only lead me to more accomplishments in the future and hopefully a long-term sports career, but I do it all for them.
Hey, we both, because that's my motivation right now, so we both here. So, thank you for coming on the show. Don't forget about your boy. When you grow in music, in the sports industry, you can always come back to the Sports Biz Music Podcast. Hopefully one day I'll be on Sirius Radio or something. You never know. You could be. You may own a team one day. Who knows? You may own the Dodgers. Who knows? But whenever you need to come on the show, just let me know.
Well, thank you so much. And you're right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
No problem. And everybody's been your boy DJ Anonymous from another episode of Sports Biz Music Podcast with my girl Aliyah Navarro, and we out. Peace.